ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
A person is being credited with saving the lives of 2 people inside a burning building in Dover-Foxcroft yesterday. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. The city of Bangor has begun removing a homeless encampment from Valley Avenue, and hundreds of people gathered for a pro-life rally in Augusta. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Wednesday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Lou G and Fredericks across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. All right, let's get things rolling. The small crowd advisory is done, so we're good to go there. Now we're focused on this winter weather advisory that's up through 6 a.m. as we head towards your Thursday. It kicks in later today with a wintry mix of pretty much a mess out there. Rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow that will be possible as you do proceed forward in time. We've had a few returns on the radar already. That's just kind of a teaser, though, as you're going to be watching out for more active weather that will be moving in, especially later this afternoon into the evening time frame. Zoom things out. Some of us even have some lightning with this, so I can't quite rule out that you might notice a little bit of lightning with this either. And we're seeing a lot of this develop from the west going toward the east, so we'll keep that rolling as we move over time as well. Futurecast showing it's arriving during the afternoon period, so travel may be tricky out there from time to time. We'll catch a break as we head towards Thursday morning before normal rain gets in here, courtesy of temperatures that will be rising above freezing. So Futurecast moving forward, we'll get the winds mainly out of the east at around 5 to 10 miles per hour in general, but remaining rather calm, especially as we head towards Thursday afternoon. Forecast for today, mid-30s, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow, with that north wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, 30 degrees, more rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow. There'll be a break later in the overnight hours, with that east wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, mostly cloudy with that wintry mix taking hold. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. Crews from surrounding communities responded to a fire in an apartment building in Dover-Foxcroft. Officials say it could have been deadly for some of the residents, if not for some nearby contractors who saw the fire and sprung into action. Matthew Duronsik reports.
Fire was shooting into the sky as first responders got the call at around 10:30 this morning. For the residents, it was hard to watch.
Said I was sleeping in my bed with my dog and I heard a pounding on my door from the contractor that was working next door, and then my fire alarm started going off, so I grabbed my dog and jumped over the flames up by the front door. And
quick thinking came from a good Samaritan working next door, banging on doors to get all the occupants out. But this fire was stubborn. Fire crews battled for more than 2 hours before getting the blaze under control. Dover-Foxcroft Fire Chief Brian Gaudette says the cause of the fire is currently under investigation, but they believe it started on the second floor of the 3-story apartment building. He also said no one was injured and that 2 people were inside the property at the time.
The fire was too far ahead of us when we got here, so our main concern was to protect all the exposures.
Volunteer firefighter Emma Melia, who lives across the street, was home at the time of the incident. She said her instincts kicked in when seeing how quickly the fire was spreading.
I jumped right into what I have to do. I found out what trucks were getting water, where, and what side of the building. It was quick for me to just jump up, get one of the deck guns going, and my father and I got fire started to the left side of the building.
Chief Gaudette applauds the person that helped get the 2 people out of the building before the fire spread.
It's very heroic for a passerby to risk his life to go try to save a stranger he don't know.
In Dover-Foxcroft, Matthew Duronsik reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Officials believe the fire was caused by cigarette butts that had been left in a bucket on the porch. 2 firefighters received minor injuries, and according to the Bangor Daily, a contractor also received minor burns while helping the people who were inside. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted and arrested. Considering the unprecedented nature of the former president's indictment and the overwhelming public interest in the case, we spoke to some local residents about their thoughts on the indictment.
I think that it's set up for distraction. I think there's a lot bigger things going on.
Do what he can to get out of it and buy his way out.
He's just going to do what he wants to get out of it because that's how the world works with these people of power.
I don't feel one way or the other. I saw that it happened, but I didn't get into it. I figured it would be like kind of going down a rabbit hole.
It's a politically motivated indictment, and I think that it would never have happened if Trump wasn't
the projected nominee for the Republican nomination, and I think that it comes at a time that is kind of suspect.
A judge has warned former President Trump to refrain from rhetoric that could inflame or cause civil unrest. Members of Maine's congressional delegation offered thoughts on President Trump's arrest and arraignment. Maine Representative Shelley Pingree said in a statement, quote, "Make no mistake, today is a sad day for this country. For the first time in our nation's history, a former president has been arrested on criminal charges. It is a tragic moment of great gravity all Americans should mark solemnly, but it's also a sign of our democracy's health that even a former president can face justice for their misdeeds. No one is above the law," end quote. Maine Senator Susan Collins also took a moment to reflect on Tuesday's events and discussed her thoughts on who the Republican nominee for president should be.
At this point, my request to the people of our country, whether they are supporters or opponents of President Trump, is to react peacefully when the indictment is unsealed later today. I have already made clear that President Trump is not my choice for the Republican nomination. I think we have many outstanding candidates: Nikki Haley, Asa Hutchinson, Tim Scott, all of whom I know well, Chris Christie. There are a lot of choices out there, and my hope is that my party will choose one of those excellent choices.
The city of Bangor has begun removing a homeless encampment from Valley Avenue. Bangor City Manager Debbie Laurie says for the last 3 months, 40 individuals from 10 different state and local agencies have been working to line up resources for people who had been living there. She says people living in the encampments are being counseled and aided daily with opportunities for housing. Laurie says there is an emphasis on permanent housing, but temporary housing options will be available as well. If you have an apartment available, any gently used furnishings, or the ability to provide financial support to aid this transition, contact Laurie at city.manager@bangormaine.gov. The city of Old Town could update current ordinances that would expand park occupancy rules and existing loitering regulations. A.J. Douglas reports.
Monday night, the City of Old Town City Council voted to approve a second reading of the newly proposed park and loitering rules. Police Chief Scott Wilcox has proposed that the city extend limited occupancy of city parks, which would ban people, including the unhoused, from being in those spaces during certain hours.
Was looking at making that change from 10 p.m. at night to 6 a.m. to making it from sunset to sunrise.
Deputy Chief Chris Miller says the updated park rules are not specifically directed to homeless community members.
After some juvenile issues that we had throughout the summer and throughout the fall, so looking as we're coming into warmer weather and things are starting to get active again.
Officials say park occupancy rules stem from juvenile vandalism, but the request to extend loitering rules are related to limited instances where homeless individuals are considered to be trespassing. During an Old Town City Council meeting on March 20th, Wilcox stated that updated loitering guidelines would allow police to enforce rules to promote safety.
It also allows us to deal with people that are sleeping in the gazebo or are sleeping on a slide in a park somewhere.
Wilcox says law enforcement would like to, quote, get ahead of the situation, end quote, by incorporating regulations that are steadily being adapted by other cities around the state to reduce loitering. The public hearing is scheduled for April 18th in Old Town. A.J. Douglas for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A bill in Augusta is looking to help fund 24-hour supportive services for site-based housing first, an approach that helps those experiencing homelessness find permanent housing and helping take them out of the cycle of homelessness. Members of Preble Street were in Augusta Tuesday to speak in favor of the bill. Advocates say it has been a successful solution for people experiencing chronic homelessness.
We can make history here in Maine and have the ability to do something that no other state has done by ending chronic homelessness. This unique opportunity is now. The resources are available now, and the time to take action is now.
Preble Street representatives say the Housing First program saves the community money. They say it results in fewer police calls, emergency room visits, and jail stays. Hundreds of people gathered for a pro-life rally in Augusta yesterday. Devin Dagnall has the story.
Tuesday morning, the Maine Right to Life group hosted Hands at the Capitol at the Augusta State House in the Hall of Flags.
A lot of the energy today is around what the governor had already announced as an expansion of abortion here in Maine.
According to Assistant Republican leader Senator Lisa Keim, many of the people who attended the rally are concerned the bill Governor Janet Mills is expected to release will expand accessibility for abortions across the board. Many of the attendees, including Keim, speculate the new bill will allow for abortions up until the moment of birth, which they staunchly oppose.
So we haven't seen the language of that bill yet, but just from the speeches that were made and the way that she is describing it, it is looking to have abortion right up to the moment of live birth.
When we reached out to the governor's office for clarification on the bill, they stated the bill is inspired by the story of Dana Pierce, who had to travel out of state to receive an abortion after learning her child was suffering from skeletal dysplasia. The governor's office stated, quote, "The governor's bill places the decision about whether to have an abortion later in pregnancy in the hands of a woman and a doctor, not politicians," end quote. They also offered statistics, stating nearly all abortions in Maine occur during the first trimester, with 92% of them occurring by the 12th week of pregnancy.
I do not want to see an expansion of abortion, and I am very certain that the people I represent in Maine do not want abortion up to live birth for any reason.
In Augusta, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, if you're going to the Bangor International Airport, you might want to check out a new memorial to Maine's fallen service members. We've got the details when we return.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
Looking to haul a new piece of equipment? Homeowners or commercial, Coops Truck and Equipment has the right trailer for you. Coops is the largest dealer of truck flatbeds and hauler bodies in this state and can replace any old rusty bed or outfit any new truck. Our full-service facility can modify all truck and trailers with steel and aluminum fabricators on duty. We are your go-to place for CM truck bodies, H&H trailers, and load trail trailers. For trailers, truck bodies, truck outfitting, and more, it's Coops.
This is Eargo. They automatically enhance your hearing wherever you are.
Ours comes with buttons on the back, so you can fiddle around to your heart's content.
Like the 80s all over again.
Cool, right?
For a limited time, get $300 off our latest device.
This isn't your parents' photo booth. Premier Limousine and DJ present the latest in photo booth technology, the Magic Mirror Air Booth. We offer unlimited prints of beautiful 4x6 full-color photos and unlimited photos sent directly to your phone. The new Magic Mirror Air Booth is available for proms, weddings, birthdays, class reunions, and corporate events with one of the largest selection of props available. You can book the Magic Mirror Air Booth and DJ services separately or take advantage of our very popular package deal. Contact us at Premier Limousine and DJ.
There have been 80 years of drafts, thousands of names called.
Jerry Rice,
Eli Manning, Sauce Gardner.
But there's nothing like hearing yours.
A spectacular moment for this young man.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
This might not get pretty.
A single mom scheme against her boyfriend?
You had him thrown out of his own house.
His house, so he says, but the locks were changed. We lived there. He lived in Monticello.
Just because you changed the locks doesn't make you any less of a squatter.
And she's standing her ground.
He started getting what I call weird, okay? 3 separate times I called 911. What was I to do?
Go find an apartment with your son.
Next, Judge Judy.
Wednesday at 5, only on ABC 7.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
A memorial to honor Maine's fallen heroes is now part of a temporary display at the Bangor International Airport. Our Jody Hersey has more.
The Summit Project is a living memorial that honors fallen service members from Maine who have died since September 11th, 2001.
Joel A. House, Andrew L. Hutchins, Michael Jones.
Each hero is represented by a stone that volunteers lovingly carry in their backpacks while hiking year after year. On Tuesday, 20 of those stones were placed in the Summit Project Honor Case that is temporarily on display at Bangor International Airport. Lorna Harris's son, Dustin, is one of the 20.
Dustin was a senior in high school, sitting in English class when the Twin Towers were struck, and he knew that he wanted to serve his country. Not many can say they died doing what they loved, and Dustin honestly died doing what he loved.
A stone representing Jim Stout's stepson, Aaron Marquis, is also part of the display.
Families struggle. They need to have some kind of closure. You can't ever close, I guess, the death of a son or a stepson, but this has certainly helped.
Other Gold Star families, veterans, and airport staff gathered for a special ribbon-cutting ceremony at BIA Tuesday.
I think the power of remembering is stronger than a lot of us think on our daily basis.
This Summit Project Honor Case will be on display on the first floor of Bangor International Airport throughout the months of April and May. Jim Stout hopes every passenger traveling through BIA will see this case and remember the sacrifices made by so many in uniform.
I hope it makes them stop and think about what our military does for our country.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
During a school board meeting Monday night, RSU 63 school board directors voted to limit the display of classroom flags to the Maine state flag or American flag. According to a press release from RSU 63 Superintendent Jared Fogoni, some have viewed the change as non-inclusive as it permanently excludes teachers from displaying other flags that do not fit into approved flag displays, such as the pride flag. Fogoni explains that the school system efforts to promote diversity and inclusion go well beyond the display of a flag and points out that he did not make the policy. A coalition of environmental groups says it is withdrawing a lawsuit against a renewable energy company it accused of jeopardizing the last remaining wild Atlantic salmon in the U.S. The groups sued Brookfield Renewable, claiming that the company kills salmon on the Kennebec River with its dams. Wild Atlantic salmon only return to a handful of U.S. rivers, all of them in Maine. They are protected under the Endangered Species Act. The conservationists were dealt a setback last month when the federal government ruled the salmon can coexist with the hydroelectric dams on the Kennebec. Federal authorities say they will ensure the company eventually upgrades the dams to allow more salmon to pass through. Senator Susan Collins toured the Colonial Theater in Augusta Tuesday morning. Her visit comes after she secured $1.5 million for renovating and expanding the theater. Funding from the project will provide renovations to the current building while adding a 2-level auxiliary building that will overlook the Kennebec River. Senator Collins expressed the importance of revitalizing the historic landmark.
It is going to be such an asset, not only to the capital city of Augusta, to Kennebec County, but to the entire state of Maine with its 1,000-seat theater.
The theater sat dormant for decades after it fell into disrepair in 1969. Since 2015, the building has undergone major construction, including replacing the roof and rebuilding a large portion of the auditorium floor. The Colonial Theater was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2014. After the break, we'll take a look at research on the long-term exposure to air pollutants. We'll be right back.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrix material, which is twice as strong as vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything, from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and a superior process.
It's the people.
It's the process.
It's the product.
Call now to get our exceptional signature service. This fantastic offer is available only for a limited time. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance, at HD Star. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too. Jardiance may cause serious side effects including ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
Pepper's Landing is the definition of authentic Maine dining. Named in honor of our grandfather, the primary focus at Pepper's Landing is offering a variety of fresh, locally harvested seafood to all. We take pride in our quality and selection, but it doesn't end with just seafood. We also offer delicious selections of burgers, pasta, steaks, and more. So stop in to any of our locations and see what Pepper's Landing is all about.
Herman residents were invited to coffee and conversation with town councilors Tuesday. Inside the council chambers on Billings Road, residents were invited to get to know Herman town councilors a little bit better. Two council members, Ron Murphy and Danielle Haggerty, were both on hand to talk with taxpayers about the concerns they may have on things happening in Herman that they would like more information about.
Sometimes people don't like to come to meetings because it's really hard for them to get to know the councilors, so we thought if we had just something that was coffee and conversation, they could come in, sit down, find out who we are, and maybe we can help answer some of their questions for them.
Residents who attended the gathering got to share their concerns about the divide between the town and the schools. They also heard more about the town's recent decision to sever ties with the Herman Volunteer Rescue Squad. Research shows that long-term exposure to air pollutants may have negative health effects. Stroke patients are likely more vulnerable. With more, here's ABC's Sherry Preston.
Researchers from the University of Tennessee and Yale found that older adults who had a stroke were more likely to be readmitted to the hospital if exposed to air pollutants long term, specifically pollutants of carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, particulate matter 2.5, and sulfur dioxide. They looked at adults 65 and older who were hospitalized due to stroke and found that even in levels of air pollution that qualify as below what's nationally considered dangerous, the findings persisted. Previous research has linked cardiovascular conditions to air pollutants as well. So those findings indicate that a reevaluation of air pollution regulations may be warranted. With this Medical Minute, I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
When we return, Devin Biggs will have your 5-day forecast.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Have both Medicare and Medicaid? Now's the time to explore your options and choose the coverage that's right for you. Choose a plan that offers you more benefits at no additional cost. Millions of members turn to WellCare for benefits and services that go beyond basic Medicare and help them lead better, healthier lives. Choose a plan with zero or low monthly premiums, co-pays, and deductibles. And with WellCare, you don't just pay less, you get more. More dental with comprehensive coverage, including dentures and crowns. More vision and hearing with an eyewear allowance and hearing aids. Plus prescription drug coverage with $0 preferred generics and free home delivery. Call us at 1-877-267-8416 to speak to a friendly licensed representative and request a free all-in-one guide. There's no obligation. We're here to help you review your options to see if a WellCare plan is the right decision for you. WellCare has a large network of quality doctors and specialists. Plus, we offer PPOD SNPs with the freedom and flexibility to choose your preferred provider in some areas. Enjoy free over-the-counter healthcare items and free groceries with a healthy food card. Plus, free transportation to doctors and pharmacies and free meals delivered to your home. Get convenient access to care with our telehealth services, including online doctor visits and a free gym membership with online classes. WellCare is a leader in government-sponsored health care. It has been serving those with Medicare, Medicaid, and prescription drug for more than 35 years. Call now. We're here to answer your questions and even assist enrolling you over the phone. Choose the company that puts your health first. WellCare, Medicare done well. Call now and get a free copy of our all-in-one guide. 1-877-267-8416.
Welcome back. 900 high school students from across the state gathered at the Augusta Civic Center for the 44th annual Maine State Math Meet. It's the first time the state meet was held in person since 2019. The big event follows 5 other regular season meets that took place over the past year. Hampton Academy senior Leonardo Malinsky started the math meet in 5th grade. He represented his school for the final time during the meet. He says competitions like this serve as an enjoyable way for students to promote their own academic growth. All the results from the state meet will be posted at the Maine Association of Math League's website, maml.net. Congratulations to everyone who competed. Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs to see how things are adding up. Devin?
Alrighty, here we go. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, they are Paramount. Give them a call for a free estimate today. All right, let's get things rolling. Winter weather advisory is the main alert in effect right now. This here dropped at around 10 a.m. That small craft advisory, we're done with that. So now that winter weather advisory is up until about 6 a.m. as we head towards your Thursday. And for now, that wave heights are still a little active out there in a few spots at around 3 to 6 feet. Notice some calmer waters out there, so we might start seeing things calming down for us as well, as not much wind is expected with this latest system that will be moving in. We've had a few returns on the radar this morning, so any precipitation that did fall is mainly a teaser at this point. We're going to be watching for more active weather later this afternoon to the evening time frame. A wintry mix on the way that will make travel tricky from time to time. We're seeing it right here with this warm front right about in here, and some lighting with this as well as with this system. And it's all tracking from the west to the east. Even some ice in Canada and lightning with it. So pretty dynamic system developing. We'll have to keep an eye on that as it does develop. So future counts moving forward, watching that windshield mix moving in during the afternoon period. A lot of ice potential here, so please be careful if you do have to travel today and also in the parts of tonight. We'll catch a break as we head towards Thursday morning, which will allow that salt to do what it needs to do. Then temperatures rise, the normal rain during the afternoon period for your Thursday into the overnight hours. And then for your Friday, look at this. Things start to calm down. Maybe a few passing clouds to start things off for your Friday. Otherwise, a good amount of sunshine. As for snowfall, mainly around 1 to 3 inches in a few spots before we're all finished up. Nothing too meaningful there. A lot of that snow will be in the northern ends of the state. Down south, it'll mainly be rain and maybe freezing rain and sleet in a few spots too. As for that ice potential, looks a little bit like this. Maybe a 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of ice in some spots before we're all finished up. Further to the north, there's a potential for it to be just a little bit higher. So either way, though, if you get towards the central and northern parts of the state near the Millinocket area, they'll need to be watchful to see how much ice that they could receive. But otherwise, though, if you know anyone across parts of the Midwest, like near Cincinnati, Chicago, St. Louis, and such, make sure that they're aware of the severe weather threat for today, where large hail damaging winds and tornadoes could occur in these areas. So we're okay, but definitely make sure to give someone a call if you know anyone in that area to make sure they're paying attention to the weather. Mid-30s today, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow. North wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, here we go, 30 degrees, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow again. East wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, lower 50s. That'll feel nice. That wintry mix switching over to rain showers. South wind at about 5 miles per hour. Paramount Paving extended forecast. So partly cloudy on Good Friday, highs in the upper 40s. Lots of sunshine on Saturday, highs in the lower 40s. Easter Sunday looking great as well. Lots of sunshine, highs in the lower 50s.
Thank you, Devin. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.